This is a question that has been plaguing my mind for a while now, and uh, I just need to get these ideas off my chest. I'm not much of a theorist, and I don't really particularly like theory videos, but I figured somebody might want to watch this, just because it's a different perspective. Maybe other people have the same opinion, if not varying opinions of mine, but I haven't seen anything like that out there. And again, like I said, I'm not really a theorist person. Um, but I need to say this. Where the hell is AJ? AJ is. It's very apparent that, to Clementine, she didn't want to join the New Frontier. And even though she had done and gone through so much, she didn't lose her purity of caring for children or people. Because of this fact, we can conclude that maybe she is overcome with the hedgehog's dilemma. For those of you that don't know what that is, here's a brief introduction of the saying from a Wikipedia article. The hedgehog's dilemma, or sometimes the porcupine dilemma, is a metaphor about the challenges of human intimacy. It describes a situation in which a group of hedgehogs all seek to become close to one another in order to share heat during cold winter. They must remain apart, however, as they cannot avoid hurting one another with their sharp spines. Though they all share the intention of a close reciprocal relationship, try saying that 3 times fast, this may not occur for reasons they cannot avoid. Both Arthur Schopenhauer and Sigmund Freud have used this situation to describe what they feel is the state of the individual in relation to others in society. The hedgehog's dilemma suggests that despite goodwill, human intimacy cannot occur without substantial mutual harm, and what results is cautious behavior and weak relationships. With the hedgehog's dilemma, one is recommended to use moderation in affairs with others, both because of self-interest as well as out of consideration for others. The hedgehog's dilemma is used to explain introversion and isolationism. It sounds like Clem, right? That's what I wanted to get across. Most people don't really think about, I guess, the introverted part of her, but that is what she is, in my opinion. And she's usually not used to being with other people aside from Lee, Kenny, and what the fuck was his name? Luke. Lee, Kenny, and Luke, and maybe even Jane. You consider her too. But yeah, it sounds a lot like Clem, like the way she thinks and the way she feels. Now, based on this very basic understanding of how she might be feeling, even if she followed her gut and decided not to stay with the New Frontier, she'd eventually consider it for AJ, only because she saw that given time, she or he would be killed sooner rather than later. I think not only was AJ a sign of hope for Kenny, but now that torch has been passed on through to Clementine as well. She realized from a strategic standpoint that her odds of survival, because of her empathy, is very low. So yeah, we get it. Clementine joined the New Frontier and all that. We already know that, right? Well, consider this. What if she got attached? What if she got attached to someone else there, like she did with Lee, Kenny, Luke, or sometimes Jane, like the alphabet? What if she got attached to someone else there, like she did with, people from her past? If she was there for AJ, common sense would indicate, because she has the hedgehog's dilemma, she would leave because even surrounded by evil people, he'd still survive. And she doesn't want to be there when he does die, or she doesn't want to die near him to cause him any grief, She would leave because AJ would have a better chance of survival in a fortress rather than with only her. It would take someone she cares about other than AJ to make her stay. Someone with a voice to say no. I theorize that maybe at first she didn't leave out of obligation to another person or people. Maybe she owed him or her or them, or maybe she admired him or her or them. and in her mind went and reverted to being blinded by nostalgia, like how she was with Kenny. You know, Kenny was, if you haven't played season 2, Kenny was very brutal, but he was still a reminder of the old, the old times, the older times that she had. I guess, nostalgia can be a huge role in changing your perspective on reality. If you're stuck in it, things just, the things that are horrible, you just don't see them, you just see the good from before. So maybe she was reminded by him or her or them, as past father figures, or, kind of like Lee, Kenny, Luke, Jane from a different time. Or maybe, it was just a reminder of the people she was surrounded by before, like a sense of community or something. And maybe because of that, she bolted. She probably bolted out of remembering that. And maybe out of the possibility that maybe because these people are evil, that she might also turn into another Kenny or another Carver, especially after seeing more of who the Final Frontier are. Being around evil people long enough, you tend to, turn into one yourself. You don't know what is good or bad anymore, it's just what is, She had to have discussed this with someone, or maybe she tried to escape before without them knowing and got caught. They had to see her as a huge advantage or a huge asset to the group, and it was very evident since she was alone and taking care of a child as well. She had to have been involved in the heavy work they did. Let's be real here, Clementine's capable of doing some crazy shit and still be on her feet, They did not think of her as just some kid. I wouldn't either. She's a huge asset, in my opinion, to any group. And she's saved a bunch of people. Or the people that cared about her. The people that surrounded her. Or maybe it was the one thing that she has that got her in trouble. Maybe they wanted her to kill someone in cold blood. Or maybe she killed someone from the New Frontier to protect AJ or someone else. Either way, something happened to cause her to stay and to leave. I think both reasons are very personal, with the assumption that she was trying to run away. In order for the New Frontier to get Clem back, they forcefully took AJ, and she decided it was impossible to retrieve him for now. Now with the assumption that she killed someone, or she didn't kill someone that she was ordered to kill, maybe she had been deemed too weak or unnecessary due to having compassion. Out of anger, they gave her the boot or imprisoned her, and Clem escaped or was banished. Because of her empathy, she is going back or is currently plotting to rescue AJ. God damn it. In hindsight, why was she really after that truck from episode 1? If you take a shit ton of supplies from a huge group of people, you're looking to hurt whoever needs it. That's a military strategy right there. I wouldn't go out of my way to chop down a fucking tree just so I could stop a truck. That's unnecessary. That's an unnecessary waste of energy that you could be using to survive. That's not survival, that's strategy. Something was happening with her and those people. Obviously we know that there is a connection there because she used to be one. If Clem was in a group with other people, it would make sense. But she was alone. It makes no sense to attack a truck full of supplies and food and only take an apple from it. This was vengeance and out of character for her, in my opinion. She only does what needs to be done given her circumstances. Same thing with Lee, same thing with Kenny, same thing with Jane. She only takes what she needs and tries not to meddle with other people. Yes, Clem is a badass and it complements that. But this is something way out of her normal boundaries, at least from how we used to see her in seasons 1 and 2. I think she is trying to cripple them so it's easier to get AJ. These are just my 2 cents, and I figured, somebody might want to know something about this. And if you know more, please let me know or put it in the comment section below. I'm curious to see other theories as to what's actually going to happen in episode 3. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and If you want me to make more theory type videos of The Walking Dead, just let me know and I'll consider doing something else. Alright, take care guys.